one's totally capped. Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. So if you didn't know it before, I am a beekeeper. This is my third year keeping bees, and the bees got a really early start to spring because of the warm weather that we've had. It's caused some of the trees to bloom a little bit early, and I actually haven't gotten to do my first honeybee inspections of the year. So I don't even really know how many colonies that we have, how many of them came out of winter. They went into winter, so I went into winter with 7 colonies, and it looks like one of them might be thinking about swarming already. There's a lot of bees in the air. A lot of bees in the air. I think my largest colony might have done a fire drill. So just because you see a lot of activity coming in and out of a hive, it doesn't mean that that hive is alive or healthy. Really, it can mean that the hive actually died out over winter and it's in the process of being robbed out. One of the reasons that I think that that's not going on is that bees going into that colony have a lot of pollen in their pollen baskets, so it looks like they're bringing in resources, and there's actually quite a few drones headed in and out of that colony. Drones are male bees, and their sole purpose is for reproduction. They actually don't go ahead and forage. They don't go out and get any kind of resources for the colony. The only reason you'd be seeing a drone coming in and out of the colony is the drones coming out to do some mating flights with some queens. And so the fact that I'm seeing drones flying in and out of this colony means that it is alive, and it's actually quite bustling. So I take that back. I had originally thought that maybe the bees had done a fire drill. What a fire drill is basically a practice swarm. So up to 70% of the colony will come out with the queen, circle around in the air, really not find a place to land, and come back to the colony. And you'll see them doing fire drills in the days before they do their true swarm. But I don't know if that's actually going on. As I'm looking at every single colony has tons and tons of activity. And what might be going on is essentially commencement. So the bees inside a colony, they each have a job. And the job is based on if they're a male or a female, like we talked about before, or in the case of female workers, it's based on their age. So very young bees that first emerge out of the cells, for the first couple weeks, they are nurse bees. So really their first job is clean out dirty. They're janitors, and they will graduate to nurse bee status, where they'll take care of the baby bees, the baby larvae. And then after that, they graduate to forager. And the foragers are the ones that come out of the colony and fly around and collect things for the colony. When a new forager first exits the colony, it actually needs to turn around and orient itself to its space so it knows how to get back. And during a commencement, you can see a whole bunch of new forager bees coming out of the colony all at once. They've all graduated to forager status, and they're all turning around, looking at where they came out of, looking at their colony, and orienting themselves to that space. Cloudy days are not happy days for bees. I'm getting some warning signs that I need to exit the area, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I don't have a full suit on. This is just a jacket with some jeans, and I have gotten stung in the legs and the butt before, and it's not really fun. I don't love it. The sun is making a few little appearances this afternoon, so I am gonna go ahead and do our first hive inspection of the season. So unlike a lot of beekeepers, I don't like to smoke my bees at the entrance. I feel like it confuses them, and if my bees can just go ahead and go about their business while I'm in here, I'm more comfortable with that. I don't really want to send off any kind of alarm down at the entrance. right now there's no queen excluder on this colony because we're just now coming out of winter and I don't run queen excluders over winter. A queen excluder is designed to keep the queen out of certain boxes and really more contained to the brood area of the colony, and that's not required over winter. In the wintertime, you want the queen to have full access all over the colony so that she has full access to the food in the colony, which it seems like these bees have a ton of food in this colony. This particular colony is 1.5 deep right now. This is the same colony of bees that had our flow hive super on it last year. And I'll probably put the flow hive super on this same colony this year. Look at that. I really have no way of knowing if this is honey from last year or anything new from this year, but there's a lot of it. It actually looks like it might be from this year since there are some open cells of nectar around the outside edge. Wow. More honey. This one's totally capped. I kind of wonder if I should take off this upper box and look down below, because what I'm really looking for is brood. I want to see that the queen has been laying eggs. Lots of pollen on this frame. There is brood and baby bees on this frame. I'm trying to see if we can get a glimpse of the queen, even though it's not expressly necessary. Look at all the pollen though. There's so much pollen. In the middle of this frame here, we can see a big fat bee. You might mistake that for the queen, but that's actually a drone. Male bees are very big. This frame has a honeybee emerging out of its cell there. Can you see that? That little fuzzy head sticking out of the cell? Today is her birthday. Well, my son went away and the bees were starting to get a little bit agitated, so we did not get to take a peek at the queen, but she is there. She's been laying and she does have adequate room to lay. So while this colony does have a pretty big population, I don't think that they're necessarily going to plan on swarming anytime soon, but I probably do have to deal with the honey that's in that top box because that's just going to block the queen in. She really should be able to lay in both of these boxes, but that top box being full of honey is blocking up her valuable laying space. So already we really may have to be thinking about harvesting honey from the bees. I think I'll worry about that in April, and in April is when we will add the flow super back to this colony as well. Look down here. You see all these little specks of orange and red and yellow? This is all fallen pollen. They're bringing in so much of it, it's falling off their legs as they land. exciting. It feels like just yesterday that we harvested the honey, and now the bees are packing it away all over again. As bees do, it is what they are good at. So we are headed into swarm season, and I am very ready for swarm season. I've got my pro nukes, and it's going to be a really good time if I happen to catch as many swarms as I did last year. Last year we were putting in the really big pasture for our goats in the second half of our property, and we're not going to be really over there as often as we were last year, so we may not see as many swarms as we did last year. So if you're interested in seeing all of the swarms that I was able to catch and video last year, I'm going to put this playlist up here. It's a really good one. Right here is me harvesting honey out of our flow frame, and up here I'm going to put a video of us harvesting honey with our honey extractor.